So here we have question number 19. Remember, we're going to have 20 sample questions before we're done. So we're getting to the very end. We have one that is a consecutive problem. Again, we told you the first thing you want to do is read the problem going from left to right. The sum of two consecutive even integers is 30. Find the integers. So we read it. Did we have any danger words from or than? No. So we can skip that. Step 2, determine the type of consecutives. Remember, there's two types. Plain consecutive ones and the ones that have a condition where it says consecutive even or consecutive odd. So when I read it, it's a condition one. Remember, there is a difference between line A, the black line, and line B, the red line. Notice this says even. So let's go through our line because I know this is new for you. Remember, if it's plain consecutive integers versus consecutive even or odd integers, you have to choose. Are you going to go with the top line or are you going to go with the bottom line? Black line versus red. Because even matches the word even up there, we're going to do this line. That means our first integer, if I need one of them, is x. If I need two of them, I need to use this first one, x, and x plus 2. And if I need three of them, then I would use x, x plus 2, and x plus 4. So this one says two consecutive even. So I'm going to put x and then the x plus 2. Alright? That's all that says. Basically, it's just trying to figure out which line you were going to use, what chart. In this case, we're going to have to do spaces of 2's, gaps of 2's, x, and then x plus 2. All right, now that we know what type, then we're going to go step 3, translate any key buzzwords. You should know by now, the sum of is addition, is equal sign. Now that I translate, do we have any ands? Nope, no ands. And then finally, let's rewrite the problem. Now when I rewrite the problem, notice it starts with a plus sign. Again, don't start off with an operation symbol. Know that we're going to have to add two things, like a constant with another constant, a variable with another variable. So what two things are we going to add? This with this. The sum of these two consecutive even guys, x and x plus 2. So let's write down x, that's our first integer. Sum, we're going to add it to the other integer, x plus 2. And that this is going to equal 30. Okay. Once you have this down, it's a regular equation problem. You know that you have an equal sign, so you're going to separate it so you can have a left-hand side and a right-hand side. And then you're just going to simplify. Now notice on this side, you don't have any parentheses that we have to get rid of. So then we're just going to see if there's any like terms just on this side, the left side. Variable, variable, constant. Perfect. This and this are both variables. If you don't see a coefficient, if you want to slip in that one, feel free. When you collect, you look at the labels. You're not changing anything, you just look at what labels they are. That's clearly a positive. This has no label, so it's understood as positive. When you have two positives, you know you add. 1 plus 1 is 2x. Remember, keeps the same variable. X stays 2x. Bring down the constant, plus 2. Now you have a coefficient, variable, and constant, so now you're done simplifying just on the left. On the right-hand side, no parentheses, only one item, a constant, so nothing to collect. So bring it down. Next, label. This is the only side that has a variable. So left side var, right side con. Let's move this 2, because remember, a variable gets to stay. There is no coefficient side, so it still gets to be married to the x. Let's move the 2. Opposite, a positive would be negative. This is the only time that I ever do the opposite, is when I'm taking something and moving it across to the other side of the equal sign. So whatever I do to the left, remember balance, has to do to the right. This and this, if you add 30, take away 2, you should know you get a positive 28. These cancel out, so you get 2x. constant on the constant side, variable on the variable side. Now we can get rid of the coefficient. And coefficients are always done last, and it's always done by dividing by the coefficient and its sign. So this is a positive 2, so I'm going to divide both sides by positive 2. So I get x equals 14. Half of 28 is 14. Now, we got to go to step 6. Be careful on what the question was asking you. Right? So we solved it, but we got to be careful that our answer of 14 meets what we're asking for. Notice it's asking for integers, plural. This problem is not one that said find just one of them, like find the smaller or find the first. It's not asking you to find the larger one or the second one. It actually wants you to give me 2 numbers because we're doing with 2 integers. And they got to be even numbers. So this is your first integer, because remember, x, x. So we can say the first integer is 14. The second integer, remember, we said you have to add 2 because we want the next even integer. So you're not going to say 14, 15 because 15 is not even. We need to have even numbers. So add 2 to that 14 and you'll get 16. And that makes sense because if I add these 2 integers, I will get the 30 that I was looking for. This is even, and it asks for even, so you should be good.